Hi everyone, James Tennant here. Sorry it's been a little while since my last video. I've been a little bit caught up, but I'll try and make up for that in the next couple of weeks. I'll put out a few extra videos to make up for the amount of time between videos. So today's video I thought I'd do is just something that I'm really getting into at the moment, which is called data standards for Vault. This is a subscription add-in. It's a client-side add-in as well, so you don't have to worry about installing anything on the server end. It's entirely client end. And what we do is we install this on a CAD machine that has a Vault client ready for it. You do have to have Vault Professional for this one to run, so don't be trying this with Vault Basic. But that being said, it's excellent functionality for Vault Professional. So let's have a look at it. Now, the first thing with the data standards, one of the first little add-ons it gives you is, let's go and have a look at one of these folders, is a data sheet. So this data sheet can be customized, and will enforce. I haven't done a lot of customization on these, but I'll show you some of the ones that I have customized. But you can see there, I've got a data sheet there that shows me category, it shows me folder name, it shows me all the metadata that I might want to see on a folder. So just by selecting on the folder like I've done there, it shows me all the metadata, and this can be customized however you want. So if you wanted to display other properties, you can do that. You can see actually I don't have any user-defined properties up here on the right-hand side. So for that reason, I haven't customized the data sheet for the folders. But you might have user-defined properties or system properties that you want to display, and you can do that on the data sheet there. So that's the data sheet for a folder. Let's have a look at a data sheet for a file. So let's select on that file there, and you can actually see that I have customized this one. So this is a little bit different to the default. You can see category, I've got client, I've got address, and so on and so forth. All the user-defined properties that I use in my everyday Vault use. You can also see I've got a thumbnail view there, which is kind of nice to see, and you can make that bigger if need be. And I just put a logo there, which doesn't actually look that good there, but I just thought I'd show it just to show that you can. So you can do pretty much anything. It's actually ridiculous how customizable this data sheet is. So you can have drop-down boxes, you can have all sorts of stuff in here. It's amazingly configurable if you've got the tools. So that's one thing that I really love about the data sheet is just how customizable it is, and we can configure anything to show up on there, which is really good. On a file as well, you've also got this CAD bomb available, and again, I've just been playing around with this one, but I haven't really made any changes to it. But you can see the quantity of files for this particular assembly. If I was to select on a different part, it doesn't have a CAD bomb, so it doesn't show me anything. And that again is customizable. You fill in whatever fields you want there, and it'll look however you want it to look. So there are a couple of little things, and that's just displaying data. That's not actually entering data. One thing, now that we get past just the viewing part, the parts that I really love about data standards, you'll notice I've got this folder here called templates, and I've got a bunch of template files in my templates folder. And now what I've done is I've just gone and added a whole heap of files that I use all the time. So for example, in this case, I've got a Vault lifecycle template, for example. So let's say I come out and I do a lifecycle configuration for a client. Then basically what would happen then is I would be able to start with that template and make a new file, just like any old template, but it's within Vault. Same thing goes with an Inventor part or Word document, PowerPoint presentation, whatever it is. And if I wanted to do that, let's say I wanted to go and make a new file and I wanted to make a new Visio diagram file underneath this designs folder here. All I need to do is right click, new standard file. That will give me a drop down list of all the templates that were sitting in this templates folder. And in this case, Vault's lifecycle template is what I'll choose. I'll choose to put that in the client document category because I've got this drop down list here for categories, which again is indexing the Vault to find all the categories that are available. I can choose different numbering schemes if I have other numbering schemes available to me, and fill in any metadata. This again is a dialog box that I have not customized. This is by default what it looks like. But again, you can make this look however you want it to look. And you're actually going to see a customized one in a moment when I jump into Inventor. But for now, you can get the idea based on this. Let's just go OK on that, and you can now see I've got this new file in here. And this file has got its own numbering scheme. It's been added to the client documents category. And if I had filled in any other metadata, that metadata would be displayed in there as well. Nice and easy. Really, really great part about the data standards there. But let's get progressively better. So let's jump into Inventor now. Actually, I haven't fired up Inventor, so let me just fire up Inventor. So there's Inventor fired up. Let's go ahead and create a new part. So everything about Inventor looks and feels exactly the same. We do have that data standard tab up here on the ribbon strip, which we're not even going to think about really, because we don't need to just now. But let's say I'm go ahead and design things as I would normally in Inventor. In my case, I'm just going to make a box and leave it at that. Now let's say I want to save that. What's going to happen as soon as I hit save, the data standards is going to pop up and say, hey, fill in this information, otherwise you're not allowed to save it, basically. And I can enforce this. I can make it a little bit more flexible if I want it to, but in this case, I've enforced it so that I have to choose something from this list, which is really, really great. So once I've filled in all these properties, the OK button will be available, and I'll be able to continue. But until this is filled in, I can't do so. I've got the data standards dialog box here, even indexing the Vault folders underneath designs. So if I was to go ahead and have a look at Vault, just back in here, you'll see the same folders listed underneath designs as the available folders listed here, which is really awesome. I can even cascade this, so I can choose folder and subfolder if I really want to as well. It just depends on how customized you want it. Now, I don't use a big folder structure, so I choose to just have one level of Vault folder there. So that's really cool. If I was to make let me just close out of that and we'll go back into that in a minute. If I was to make a new folder here, let's just say new folder. Actually, you know what? We may as well use the data standards to make the new folder. I'm going to make it into a client work project, and let's go ahead and say folder 1, whatever you want to call it. I have a new folder there. So now let's go back into Inventor, hit save, and click the drop down, and you can see now I have folder 1 there. So as you can see, every time I hit save, it's going to index the Vault, find all the folders, and let me select from the available folders. This one's a really cool one as well. This is actually what we call a cascading combo box. So in this case, we have a list of clients. Now these might be clients that you use all the time, for example, A2K Technologies. And then once I choose that, I can go and choose a list of addresses for A2K, which is pretty cool. Now, depending on who I choose, if I choose Autodesk, for example, I'll get a different list. And if I choose Cool Orange, I'll get a different list again. So as you can see, this is what we call cascading combo box. So depending on who I choose here, changes the options for the address, because we don't want to have all the addresses available. We just want to have the addresses that are applicable. Additionally, if I didn't even have the client in the list there, so it might have been other client, I can actually just go and type other client in there and other address, which is really cool. So whilst I don't have to put in that information, I can have that information as a standard drop down. You'll also notice some of these are automatically populated with a default value, and that's because that's the way I've customized it. So for example, security classification is always going to be commercial unless I secure it or whatever it's going to be. And then we've got Inventor subcategory and so on and so forth. These are all just combo boxes that I've customized in the data standards to enforce a certain standard of data. So I'm going to go and choose a material as well. I can even do that. And just go and say James project. And I'll go and say desk. Once I've entered all the information required, the OK button is available. I'm going to go OK. And immediately the check-in dialog box is going to come up and say, hey, you've got to check this in now. You've saved it, you've filled in all the information, well done, now check it in. So a lot of people tell me that they don't like the fact that they save it to their workspace, and it sometimes is easy to fall into the trap of not checking something in. There's no way around it. In this case, it's going to prompt me to check it in straight away, which is, again, really great. Make sure that we're doing the right thing all the time and not forgetting to check something in and leave it in our workspace. To confirm that that's been checked in, you can see now it's been checked in. And let's say I wanted to make a quick change to it. It behaves exactly the same way as what you'd expect it to behave. If I try and change it, it's going to say need to check it out. Happy with that, save. You can see the dialog box doesn't get in the way anymore because all the information's been filled in. And now if we were to jump back into Vault, refresh our page, we'd see all the information that I just filled in there, and we've got everything done. So that's just one of the areas of data standards that I really love. The same thing happens with AutoCAD and AutoCAD Mechanical. It's really fantastic. So that's that's about all there is. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.